piece of junk laptop. I did a video on this stupid thing quite a while ago now. I got a bunch of these, and I was going to use this one because it was in pretty good condition, and right from the get-go it didn't work right, and there ended up being an issue with the hard drive. It wasn't connected correctly. The cable wasn't seated right. So I opened it up and I fixed the cable, and then I was installing Windows, and something just wasn't right about it. It kept, like, it was going through the updates. I would walk away, go do something else, and I'd come back, and it was as if it was like restarted. I didn't understand it because none of the updates were going to do an automatic restart. So, and they weren't finishing either. It was only getting some of them. So I eventually got it through all the updates, and I'm using it, okay, and then I just went to go do something else, and I come back to it, and it's off. It's okay, maybe the battery died or whatever. Plug it up, try again. A couple of days later, I went to use it again. Same thing, I'm using it, I put it down, walk away for a minute, and I come back, and it's off. So now I says, okay, something's going on with this computer. I got to use it for an extended period of time. So I sit down and use it. I'm using it, and then I finally find out what happens. It just freezes and then it shuts off. No blue screen, nothing. Just freezes and then shuts off. That was under Windows 7. So it says, okay, well, it's shipped with Windows 8. So that's really what it's supposed to run or higher, but it does have drivers for 7. So the downgrade option was available for 7. I would expect it to run correctly under Windows 7. But for whatever reason it wasn't. So, okay, let's try Windows 8.1, which is what it's shipped with. So I put Windows 8.1 on there. It does the same thing. So I don't know what's wrong with this computer, and I don't care, because I have another one. I actually have quite a few of them. So I got another one. I set this one up, and it's not in the best condition. I gotta clean it up still. It's a little dirty, but it's in pretty good condition. I installed Windows 7. So far everything's working correctly. The only difference I can notice with this one between this other one is the mouse track seems to be different. This mouse track, like the whole thing presses down, whereas this one, it has more of a click, and it's only on the bottom half, not the top. I'm pretty sure this one, yeah, the whole thing presses down everywhere. I never really liked these track pads, these ones that go down everywhere. This was like the T440 had this, and then the T450 had something more like this. I think this works more accurately. This, I would always find the cursor would move a little bit when you click it. So we're done with that one. That one's just a scrap unit at this point. It's not worth the time to try and figure out why it's so flaky. I don't like flaky things. So I set this one up and we'll use this one. I got Windows 7 on there successfully, went through all the updates. I let it run for several hours, just idle, and it didn't shut off or do anything abnormal. So I think we're good with this one. I'm also going to install Windows 8.1 on there as well and see what happens, see if I like it. This unit is from 2015, and that's really a little bit past the cutoff of the hardware I typically find interesting. I usually don't mess with stuff much past 2012, but I don't know, this one seems relatively well built. I have a long running dislike for the Yoga series, but this one, it seems like it's relatively sturdy. The case is all metal. It doesn't flex at all. Like the newer ones, they just move like a piece of paper. It's terrible. This one seems okay. The concept to me is stupid, because they say like you're supposed to be able to turn it around like that. Well, that's great. How do you type now? It's just, to me, it's worthless, because you lose the keyboard. But I kind of want to like this thing because touchscreen computers are growing on me. Before I always thought they were stupid, and it was just like a preconceived notion that they were dumb and impractical, and I had never really used one, so that it was incorrect to form that opinion. And then I had a couple of them come into my possession, and I really liked them, especially on the laptop, because I don't like these things. So other than using a mouse, I think the screen is the next best option. It does have a one of these things in there, so you could use that. On this model, because the screen is a high resolution, it's 1920 by 1080, you almost need that thing because the buttons are so small. So this is the working one. Let's power this up here. Let's take a look at the ports real quick. We got USB charging, and that almost seems like it should come off. I don't know what else would be there. Audio out. On this side we have volume, a lock, I don't know what that does, power button. Never liked the power buttons on the side. SD card reader, mini HDMI out, which is useless to me, and USB. So there's a lot of things I don't like about this computer. Doesn't have Ethernet, very limited USB ports. It's kind of small for my preference. The keyboard, yeah, I mean, it is a little bit smaller than usual. To me, it just feels kind of cramped. I haven't done any typing on it yet, but we'll see. The screen, I have it set at 125%, and it's still a bit smaller than I'd prefer. You know, just the font is kind of small. Can make it bigger, but then nothing fits on the screen. I don't know, about 7 hours. I find that hard to believe. Anyways, so I don't know, we'll see. I could see it working out, you know, if I wanted to just have a small unit to maybe keep around if I was troubleshooting something around the house, or I could see using this like in the morning. I usually go on the computer for a few minutes and just look through the emails that came in, just not necessarily to sit down and answer them all, but just to make sure that nothing critical came in. I could see something like this serving a good purpose for that, just to do a quick task or send a couple emails or answer a few comments, you know, maybe import some pictures from the camera. And the display is really sharp, I'll give it that much. The text is sharp, the coloring looks pretty good. It's a very, very clear, sharp screen. I do like that. It's all flickery on the camera. I don't know what it's like that for. I don't know. Anyways, and it's pretty high performance too. You know, let's take a look at the benchmark rating. You know, it's not bad for a little portable computer. Scores are pretty high. So it should work pretty good, I guess. The processor is the i5 5300 CPU, which I believe is it's a 4-core. Yes, it is. It's a 4-core. So, you know, it's okay, I guess. I'll use it for a while and see how I like it. It's a bit newer than what I usually like, but I think it's still old enough that it's not super flimsy and just an absolute piece of junk.